Hey guys, Matty SRT here, back with another video. And today what I'm going to be showing you is how to change out your transmission fluid pan and fluid out of the 8 HP 70 transmission that's in the Dodge Durango SRT. Now this process does work pretty much on all other vehicles, BMW, Mercedes, or anyone or any type of a car brand that uses these ZF HP 70s. It's pretty much, obviously it's the same transmission, so this will work the same way. Now, for me personally, I did get a different type of pan other than the Mopar one, and I also am using Amsoil fluid as opposed to the ZF Life fluid that they sell. You are able to use that fluid. It works perfectly fine and is rated correctly for that transmission. Do not let anyone else tell you otherwise. But in this video, I'm just going to show you the process of taking out the old pan and fluid and then putting in the new pan and fluid and then going from there. So I have a buddy that's helping me out here at work, and we're going to use my lift here at work and get this done. So let's go ahead and get into the video and see what we need to do. Alright, no need to make this too complicated. So basically you just need a new transmission pan. Now you can either get the stock Mopar one or you can go with aftermarket, and I went with an aftermarket PPE pan. Okay, I just want to go ahead and show you, here's the box that it gets shipped in here to you. Okay, and here is the information for that, because I do have the 8 HP 70 version. So if you guys want to know how to order it, there's their website there, and that is the part number. But this is what it comes in. It's all packaged up there. They even give you like a little sticker and all that good stuff. And I went with this brushed aluminum type one with the silver and then black all over. You can get straight black, or you can get, like, I think all brushed aluminum if you wanted to. Here's the inside with the replaceable filter that you can remove and replace with just that, so you don't have to keep getting rid of the pan. Other than that, here's the other numbers on the pan, and it tells you what filter number to use when that time does come. But it is all here. And the other thing that you need to get, I've already put it on here, but you need to get a new gasket. Now you could possibly use the one that's on the stock one, but I didn't want to chance it. And this gasket at the time when I bought it was about 15-20 bucks. So I went ahead and got it, and I've already put it on here, as you guys can see, and it does line up with all the screw holes here. But just wanted to let you know, you should get a genuine Mopar gasket here, so to go with that. And then of course, other than the pan and the filter, you do need the fluid. And I went with Amsoil, and I went with their ATF fuel efficient fluid. And I went ahead and got the case of 12, because what I'm going to do is, once I fill this up, transmission only holds about 9 quarts. With this pan, it has a little extra depth to where it'll hold an extra quart. So I did get some more just to be on the safe side, and you're never going to fully fill up on a fluid change the whole amount. So I went ahead and got 12 because I feel like I might need to drain a little bit later on down the road and put some more in. So I went ahead and got the case of 12. So I recommend you do it that way. As far as pricing goes, it's probably the best way of doing it. But anyway, I just want to show you guys here what I got. And this is all the fluid. So we got little stickers down there and all that good stuff. And here's the case it came in. So let's go ahead and get this set up, man. All right, guys. So got the vehicle up here on the lift. Of course, I do have access to a lift here at my work, but just to show you here, we're gonna go underneath and we're gonna swap out this transmission pan right here. So just so you guys have a good idea of what's going on here and what we're changing out, there is a drain plug right there that you can use to drain out this fluid already for you. But just to give you an idea, this is what we're going to be swapping out here. All right. Now,
That's gonna be a 10 mil Allen.
10 millimeter Allen. Green Mopar fluid. All right, go for it.
Alright, to get to the rear bolts in the pan, might as well just loosen the trans mount. I got a shorty Torx. Not everybody might have that, so let's just do it the easy way.
that all set up. All right, you're on. All right, guys, so we got a little lift thing here to push up on the transfer case after loosening the bolts here for the cross member. So that way you have enough room to get to these bolts up there that are holding the transmission in. So you just kind of have to adjust as you can very gently to raise it up. So that way there's enough room. So that's what we're doing right now. So you have access to get to those bolts. And what bolts are those?
T40s.
T40s. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get those off and the rest of the screws here, and then we'll drop the pan. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do is we're also going to take off the trans cooler line bracket. And that's what he's gonna be kind of doing up there. It's real tight.
That's a 13 millimeter.
It's a 13 millimeter screws up there. So he's just gonna do that to kind of just loosen it up a little bit here, because it is kind of tight the way Chrysler puts these in there. So just to show you guys what we're gonna have to do to get that loose on there, all right? So as you can see, guys, there, he's getting it loose right now. And it's just because of the tightness. So he's just loosening these cooler lines here to allow for more access, because it is real tight. All right. Go ahead. All right, so we got all the screws out. We're going to go ahead and drop it. There we go. There is a pan. Just so you guys can all see there. Yeah, look at that reflectiveness. That's the inside. So there's the rest of the transmission. All the valves. We'll just let that drain just a tad bit more. But now the pan is out. Time to put the new one in. All right. All right, guys, so now we got the old pan out. We're gonna go ahead, put the new one on here. The filter end of the PPE pan does go towards the front, as you guys can see, but just kind of have to finagle it in there just a little bit, because things are a little tight in here. Let's try this side. And we'll get this finagled in here, guys, and go from there.
Just on 45.
All right, guys, so just to show you here, because this pan is bigger, to get it in here, you have to kind of do like a little Tetris. So watch here. You're gonna have to kind of really twist it to the side to go over these members and everything in here. And then once you get it in there a certain way, there it goes. It will fit up there, and voila. You have it seated, and then we just gotta put the screws in. So just to show you guys, to get over these little...
Pop in the filter.
Yeah, pop it in. Pop in that filter, make sure. But then, yeah, just to get over those parts, guys, gonna have to twist it a little bit, okay? But the bigger pan does fit, but you just have to kind of finagle a little bit. All right. All right, guys, so we're just getting the screws back on here, getting them torqued. And what you want to do is your torque specs, it kind of gets a little confusing. ZF says one thing on their website for certain pans. PPE says this and that. You want to go with what PPE says. So we're going with 15 foot-pounds of torque. And you do need to do them on a crisscross pattern. So right now we're just getting them snugged up, and now we're just doing a final torque here to make sure they're all good to go. But 15 foot-pounds of torque is what we're going with. All right, guys, so we got everything torqued up on the transmission up there. So what we're doing now is, here in the shop we got here, I got a special little fill container that you just pour your fluid in. So as you can see here, we're just opening up the good cherry Amsoil fluid here and pouring it in and filling up the container here. And we're gonna go ahead and fill it all up in there. And as far as the process goes, I'll try and film that as much as I can. Probably not gonna do much, but it's pretty basic stuff. You get it till it drips out, heat it up, go through the gears, see if it's still dripping. If it's not, you put more in. And if it does start to drip, you just close the plug and you're done. So you do need to get the temperature for the transmission between about 90 degrees and 120 degrees. But anyway, guys, I just want to show you here. We're just going to go ahead and fill it up. All right. All right, guys. So in conclusion there, I was not able to film the fill process just because, as I mentioned before, I'm able to use my lift at work with my buddy, but work does come first and some things came up and I was not able to do it. And I had some time constraints also too with my buddy there. So I had to get it done real quick and couldn't take the time to go ahead and finish recording. But it is very simple. Bottom line is just, put your plug in on the bottom, put your fluid in off top with a tube. You're going to have to pump it in there. And you want to keep pumping fluid until it starts dripping out. Then you close it up, turn on the engine and the transmission, let it idle for a little bit, and also then run it through the gears. Put it in drive. If you got manual shifters, put it in second gear, then go back to first gear, then put it in neutral, then put it in reverse. And once you do that for a little bit, you want to make sure you keep the temperature between about 95 degrees and 120 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty simple to do, especially on the SRT. It has a transmission oil temperature gauge in there, so I can tell what the temperature is at. I never did get above 125, so I was good to go. But once you go through all those gears a little bit, then you just take off the fill cap again and see if there's any liquid filling out. If there's not, you put some more in there until it fills out, and then when it does, plug it back up, and that's it. You are done. Nothing else other than that. So also too, with me doing this talk right now, I just want to let you know I filmed this video a few months back, and I can tell you right now, after using this transmission fluid and oil pan, it does keep my temperature a lot cooler. It does take a little bit longer to warm up, but it does cool a lot quicker as well. So the pan is doing great. Fluid is doing terrific. I highly recommend you use that PPE oil pan, and also to use Amsoil transmission fluid. It is a very noticeable difference on there. So my next change out will be pretty easy because of the fill plug there and everything. So I can't wait to do that whenever I need to do that. But in the meantime, that's it for this video. If you guys have any comments or anything, just put them down below. I would appreciate a like and a subscribe if you can do that for me. And I will see you on the next video. All right. Thanks, guys.